Hey guys, how you doing? This is Manga, etc. and I'm here today to bring you the review for Shaman King episode 48. So the fights continue to be short and for the most part unimpressive. We start things off with Spider-Man, as I call him, Spider-Man. He's still alive. Like I said last week, I didn't think the fight was over quite yet. So we get a little bit from that fight there just to wrap it up. Then we get another fight in the volcano area with another piece of information, maybe two important things I'd say for that scene happened there, and then we go to another patch, and that's where we leave off. That's how the fighting pretty much goes for this episode. So within the first fight, finishing off with Spider-Man, we have Jean, Iron Maiden. Yeah, the Iron Maiden. She's basically now out of the picture. And at first I was thinking, she didn't really do that much. And when that thought came to mind, I was only really thinking about the fighting that she did and the whole fact that she's not out for Ryoku. I was thinking she didn't do much fighting. How she out for Ryoku so quickly? But then I remembered she did some reviving as well. So I'm just assuming that reviving takes a hefty toll. We are told something similar to this anyway, and that's why she's not out of it. And I feel like this is a good thing because it now starts to build onto the pressure of, oh my gosh, how are they going to do this? Because, like I've said previously, they're really dependent too much on this revival tip to get them through each patch member. And we have been told that the patch members, they're so strong, they're so impressive, and I'm seeing this, but now that they can no longer rely on revival, I'm starting to feel the pressure of things even more. So that happens within like the first fighting segments. So within the second fighting segments, the volcano area, two important things are happening. So we see that Ren is improving and he's working on something, and he's trying to keep that top secret so the patch members don't find out about it. But he's working on something there. But I feel like what he's working on is similar to Killua's technique Godspeed. If you've watched Hunter x Hunter, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't, let me just break it down for you on quite kind of quickly. Uh, Killua has a technique called Godspeed, and it allows him to basically allows him to use electric pulses to improve his reaction speed. Yeah, it's just basically that. It gets a little complicated, complicated than that, but that's what I feel like uh, that Ben is working towards as well. He does mention how he says speed of lightning for a second, so I think that basically once his technique is done, he'll be at the speed of lightning. This is what I'm assuming is gonna um this is what I'm sure we'll get. His whole theme is lightning, so yeah, it makes sense. The other thing to come out of this scene is the whole fact that, because it's funny, yeah, because all this time I thought it was a boy. All this time I thought it was a boy. Turns out it's a her. My apologies, didn't mean to offend you. But Hal's little friend can also read minds. We find out that through this episode that she can also read minds. And now Yo thinks to himself, well, he discussed it with the rest of the crew as well. Why would Hal give us access to her if she can read minds? So because this was mentioned now and it's so late into the game, I feel like maybe this will have some sort of importance to how is defeated. But for a split second, I thought to myself, maybe Hal wanted to be defeated, and that's why he gave her to them. But that don't make no sense. But I feel like it is important. I just don't know how yet. So we go on into the final fight scenes. Actually, before I talk about that, I want let you know. Yeah, we go into the final fight scenes where they fight the person who's been commentating for the Shaman King fight all this time, and he seems to be having a very easy time. Probably the easiest time of all the patch members we've seen so far. A very easy time just dealing with them, breaking the Furiokus very easily. He's telling them like, yo guys, this is pointless. Don't do it. You won't make it, basically. And that's when Ben goes on to say, like, yo, you're basically here toying with us. If you don't even have the guts to kill us ain't backing down kind of thing. And that's when he goes into what seems like a killing strike on Fouts. And I can understand why he's going for Fouts. I feel like he's going for Fouts because Fouts can also resurrect as well. Not as many times as Jean and other people within the series, but he can also do it. So I feel like that's why he's gone for him first. However, I don't think he's dead. Him dying would be a good thing because it would then build on the tension of not having anyone else left to revive people. But I don't think he's dead yet. Also, I feel like he's got away somehow. But also, I feel like I'm not sure how many times Fouts can revive people. I think maybe a one time thing. But I feel like his revival would be saved for later on within the series. Well, later on within the later episodes. I feel like before they get to the final patch or something like that, something along them lines. Because I feel like basically if someone was supposed to die in this environment that they're in now, I feel like they would stay dead because to save the choreography for later on down the line when they need it more so. That's what I feel would happen there. So wrapped up within this episode as well, we did have some slice of life stuff, and the reason why I call it slice of life stuff is because it was just Yo's dads and our sister, grandparents, parents, just all day chilling, and I would have preferred, because my biggest gripe with this end piece of the series is that the fights are not long or impressive enough. So I feel like had we cut that down, maybe even not included it at all, and concentrated more on the fights, even if it's not exactly manga content, but it's filler content, just added to make things more interesting, I think that would have been a better shout than having that within the episode. Personal opinion. And the last thing to talk about is, and which also builds on the tension of oh my gosh, what's going to happen next, is the whole fact that we get to see how basically reaching the throne of the Shaman King to start his process of becoming Shaman King. So, like I said previously, that also adds on to the tension, and that also adds on to the tension of the series moving forward. Because, in all honesty, it's common sense to think, okay, the good guy's gonna come out on top. But I feel like this is the first time I've watched series and I've in depth sitting to myself thinking, maybe they don't, maybe they don't come out on top on this one. But yeah, that's all my thoughts and opinions on this episode. I think it would deserve a 2-star rating this time around. I'm not gonna lie to you, but like always, guys, I'm asking for your thoughts and opinions. If you haven't already, please go to my YouTube channel. Most importantly, take care. Have a nice day.